terrible understanding forming in my mind. My parents and sister had conspired to steal my inheritance, $750,000 that could have changed my life. They had lied to my face for months while flaunting the benefits of my grandmother's generosity. As I sat in my car, hands shaking, I realized the depth of their betrayal. This wasn't just favoritism or family dysfunction, this was criminal. The inheritance I never knew about explained so much. How Olivia suddenly afforded the down payment on that colonial house, the lavish engagement ring she claimed Jason had saved for, the expensive gifts to my parents. They had stolen from me and smugly watched me struggle, believing I would never find out. That night, I opened my journal and began a new entry. But this time, I wasn't just documenting their betrayal. I was planning my response. I wrote until my hand cramped, detailing everything I knew about my family's finances, habits, and weaknesses. Olivia's narcissism and need for admiration. My father's obsession with his reputation in the community. My mother's desperation to maintain the appearance of the perfect family. And most importantly, their collective belief that I was too weak, too stupid to ever challenge them. They had made a critical mistake. They had underestimated me, and that would be their downfall. I pulled out my laptop and started researching banking laws and inheritance fraud. By morning, I had a clear understanding of what had happened and what my options were. I could go to the police immediately, but that would only solve part of the problem. My family wouldn't just lose the money they'd stolen. I wanted them to lose everything they value, their reputation, their perfect family image, their sense of superiority. I wanted vindication for a lifetime of being treated as less than. So I began gathering evidence methodically, starting with the documentation from Mr. Peterson. I set up a secure email account and backed up all the evidence to an encrypted cloud storage. Over the next few weeks, I maintained my routine, working at the bookstore, attending the obligatory Sunday dinners, listening to my parents fawn over Olivia and her wedding plans. But now, I was watching them with new eyes. I noticed how my father would casually mention investments that were performing well. I observed how my mother's jewelry collection had expanded beyond the tennis bracelet. I saw how Olivia was planning a wedding that would cost well over $100,000, all with my money, the money my grandmother had intended for me. I smiled and nodded and played my role perfectly. The invisible daughter, the family disappointment. If only they knew what was coming. Eleanor, we need to discuss your role in Olivia's wedding, my mother said during one Sunday dinner. We think it's best if you're not a bridesmaid. Olivia wants her friends from law school, and the wedding party numbers need to be even. I nodded, pretending this hurt me, while inwardly I was relieved. I didn't want to stand beside my sister on what would soon become the worst day of her life. But we do expect you to help with the preparations, of course, my father added. Olivia is very busy with her career. Of course she was. I smiled. Whatever you need, I said softly. My mother looked surprised. Usually I would at least show some disappointment. Well, that's mature of you, Eleanor. If only she knew how mature I had become. I volunteered to help Olivia with wedding vendor research, which gave me access to her personal laptop when she was too busy to make calls herself. Just use my computer, she said dismissively one afternoon, tossing me her password. All the vendor information is in a folder on the desktop. She left for a lunch date with Jason, not realizing what she just handed me. While searching through her folders, I discovered she had access to my parents' financial accounts. She was helping them manage their money. No wonder they were able to coordinate their theft so easily. I found spreadsheets detailing exactly how they had diverted my inheritance into multiple accounts under their names. I even found emails between them discussing how to hide the money from me, with my mother writing, Eleanor is too absorbed in her books to notice anything about money. I took photos of everything with my phone, careful not to leave any digital footprints on her computer. When Olivia returned, I had a list of vendors ready for her approval and a wealth of evidence safely documented. You're being surprisingly helpful, she remarked suspiciously. I shrugged. It's your special day. I want it to be perfect. She seemed satisfied with that, her narcissism preventing her from seeing the calculation behind my newfound cooperation. As the wedding approached, I became indispensable to the planning process. I was the one who coordinated with the venue, the caterer, the florist. I knew every detail of the event that my sister and parents had spared no expense on, using my stolen inheritance. Meanwhile, I was building relationships with key people. The wedding planner, Melissa, who found me refreshingly competent compared to my high-maintenance sister. The caterer, who appreciated that I actually remembered his name, unlike my mother who called him the food guy. The photographer, who bonded with me over our shared interest in vintage cameras. These